Many thanks again for this excellent session. Let's now look into development of fintech ecosystems in Central Asia and Caucasus. Our focus countries are Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan. Presenters are Bekzhan Mutanov from Astana International Financial Center and Tamerlan Rustamov from Azerbaijan Banks Association.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to participate at the Istanbul Fintech Forum. My name is Tamerlan Rustamov. I work at the Bank of Baku. I'm a Deputy Director at the Payment System Department. Simultaneously, I am a Head of Payment Systems and Digital Bank Expert Group at the Azerbaijan Bank Association. I am going to make you a presentation about payment ecosystem, realize reforms, as well as fintech environment in Azerbaijan. Let me open my slides. In our bank system, we have 26 banks with 500 branches. It's a postal organization which provides financial service with 1,200 branches. In the left side, you can see the name of payment systems. All of them operate by a central bank. AZIPS is a real-time gross settlement system. BCSS is a bulk clearing and settlement system for retail payments. It's clearing system. The total value on both of these systems for the first 8 months of this year was for 84.3 billion United States dollars. We can see 80 times increase. You can see that the total turnover increased 80 times in comparison with 2017. The third system is Interbank Card Center. It's established by a central bank in 2014. The main aim was to increase efficiency of domestic payment card operations, reduce transaction costs, as well as increase information security. This system transfers, collects, process, as well as execute clearing on data on payment card operations. The final settlement occurs at the RTGS system, as the AZIPS. IPS is instant payment system. As the next slide, I am going to give you more information about this system. We closely cooperate with international payment systems such as remittance systems and international card organizations. I would like to mention some statistic indicators on our payment ecosystem. The total value of payment cards for the 1st September of this year is 8.8 million. The number of payment cards increased about 57% in comparison with 2017. The number of credit cards in our market increased about 67% and reached 1 million. The number of total contactless payment cards is 2.7 million. For the first 8 months of this year, the volume of payment card transactions in its domestic operations, it's 11 billion United States dollars. 20% of this operation is cashless payments. I have to emphasize that the amount of cashless turnover increased 3.6 times in comparison with 2017. As the next slide, you can see another main indicators. We can see sharp increase on the electronic bank service. Mobile bank turnover increased 60.3 times in comparison with 2017 and reached 530 million United States dollars. The total turnover of internet banking service is about 30 billion United States dollars. We made a great job on contactless payments. Thus, after amendments to legislation, it's possible to execute contactless payments not only with payment cards, as well as rings, mobile phones. We can realize contactless payments at the ATM, at self-service terminals as well. The turnover of contactless payments increased 80 times. And I have to emphasize that after central bank during the pandemic period increased the volume of contactless payments without PIN 2 times. Today it's 58 United States dollars. E-commerce, the main part it has a main share on domestic cashless payments. Its turnover, it's estimated is about 67%. Its turnover increased 7.1 times and reached 1.5 billion United States dollars. I would like to give some information about fintech environment. Our main participants of our fintech environment is non-bank payment service providers. They will have no regulation to regulate their activity. They only just pass through the tax registration. They mainly provide financial service in cooperation with international card organizations and commercial banks. There are some main activities. Payment gateway, they provide payment gateway for mass payments, including insurance, credit, as well as they provide some technical solutions for local and for international financial institutions to collect funds on for their payment service. The next service is electronic money. It's a first they issue service-based electronic money. In collaboration with international card organizations, they realized MasterPass technology. You know that this technology increase security on e-commerce operations. Today we can see QR payments in our market. They realize it on gas stations in cooperation with commercial banks. All of the one of the main activity stations, virtual payment cards. A lot of non-bank payment service providers issue prepaid virtual payment cards. Recently, we have introduced with a new technology, Open API. Some of them test this functionality, but after amendment of the legislation, we can see Open API product in our market. Reforms. Some slides about reforms which we have been realizing in our market. The first one is a Visa token service. Today, our citizens can realize payments not only with payment card as well as mobile phones. After amendments to legislation, Visa International Card Organization launched this service in our country. I have talked about MasterPass technology. Smart student card. At the beginning of CIS, Central Bank, in collaboration with International Card Organization, started this project. Some students of some universities can use these smart student cards to execute their payments as well as to use it as a student card. And the Minister of Economy, in order to increase cashless turnover as well as decrease share economy, launched this service. It's called the value-added tax refund. They prepared a special program. Natural person receives 50% of value-added tax on cashless payments for goods. It's 10% in cash form for goods. And this scheme gives us opportunity to scan QR code on the receipt. It's also possible to enter a receipt number manually. It's service integrated to a mobile banking service of commercial banks. Transport payments. Recently, we have started to use transport payment cards in our bus system and railway line in some cities. We know that financial inclusion and development payment ecosystem is a closely related issues. Central bank, in order to develop in order to expand financial inclusion, to create new, more affordable environment for our customers, realize this project. Central Bank, I have to say that they have realized this project together with Azerbaijan Bank Association. The main aim is to define the list of payment services which we will provide to people free of charge. This service include opening bank account, issuing debit payment card, the usage of electronic bank service, ATM withdrawing, SMS notification, and we hope that such opportunity or this project by the bank account project will increase financial inclusion in our country as well as will stimulate development of our payment ecosystem. The next slide is about instant payment system. I'm not going to give you more information about it. I know that you have information how this system works, and our instant payment system start to work from this month. It's integrated to ATM POS terminals, cash registers as the merchants, mobile phones, e-commerce. It's possible to execute payments with various payment instruments, as well as payment accounts and allies. What's allies? It's a mobile phone number, email address, as well as a national ID. It means that if you have no any payment card or bank account number, so you can realize with mobile phone number cashless payments at POS terminals or ATMs or self-service terminals. And all commercial banks and card processing centers, mobile operators is going to integrate to this system. There's a direct and indirect participants. The direct participants must open up a settlement account as a central bank. Generally, I think that it's one of the priority. I have to say that it's one of the priority of state program on development, on expansion of digital payments in the Republic of Azerbaijan for 2018 and 2020. Online opening bank accounts. We have defined digital transformation is one of the main issues in many countries. In our case, we defined online opening bank account procedure in our legislation. Mainly, it consists of 3 steps. The first one is authentication through a relevant information resource. It can be one-time password. At this stage, a commercial bank can open only current account. The total turnover of payment operation must not exceed 300 United States dollars per year. The second stage, it's identification through a special purpose information resource and video connection. The information resource can be centralized system of Ministry of Internal Affairs. Clients must submit their national ID before opening this account. Commercial banks can open various accounts, deposit, current account, credit account under these requirements. But the total value of payment operations must not exceed 3,500 United States dollars. The last stage is enhanced electronic signature and video connections. There's no limit for payment operations. I have to say that this first steps, we have defined these limits in order to mitigate risks, and their replacement is under the discussions. Central Bank launched the new digital identification system, which based on blockchain technology. Our citizens, our people can use this system to open bank account as well. And banks is going to integrate. The central bank is going to integrate all commercial banks to this system. I think that the main reforms it will be adoption payment service and payment systems. The law about payment service and payment systems it's based on Payment Service Directive 2. Central Bank is going to finalize work on adoption of this law. We will define the main participants in our payment ecosystem. It will be payment institutions, e-money institutions, account information service providers, payment information service providers, and payment operators. Actually, we have today in our payment ecosystem, we can see payment institutions, e-money institutions, but we haven't any legislation base for their activity. This law will formulate this legal base for them, as well as this law will define requirements for payment system operators and payment systems. We have defined the same payment service as listed Payment Service 2, the Payment Service Directive 2, and we have defined the same requirements for providing of information or execution of payment transaction as well. New regulations. This law, I have to say that not only covers payments issues as well as it covers development of financial inclusion, development of fintech environment as well. Payment agent network is one of the main tools to develop, to expand financial inclusion in any market. After adoption of this law, payment institutions, e-money institutions, and the banks will attract payment agents to provide payment service. It can be money remittance, operation with payment instruments. The central bank will define registration procedure for payment agents, and the second one is the sandbox regimes. We know the sandbox is one of the main tools for development, future development for fintech environment. Central bank will define main rules of sandbox regime. Under the preliminary requirements, legal and natural persons can realize, can test any innovative payment service under this regime, and central bank will regulate their activity, and hope that such attitude will develop our fintech environment and attract new participants. Interchange fee, in order to regulate domestic payment card market and as well as regulate competition, we are going to define maximum amount for interchange fees on domestic payment card operations. And since that it will be the next step to stimulate development of our domestic payment card market and create affordable competition environment among participants. That's all. I wanted to give you all info. I think that I give you all necessary information about our payment card, our payment ecosystem as well as fintech environment. I wish success to forum and its participants.
So good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear audience. So my name is Bekzhan Mutanov, and I'm the Deputy CEO of Fintech Hub at Astana International Financial Center. So today I want to talk about the fintech ecosystem of the Kazakhstan. So in general, fintech ecosystem is kind of a very new and a very newbie one in Kazakhstan, but it's kind of like a vast developing sector among the other like tech and IG sectors in Kazakhstan. So here, one of the impulse, one of the like forges, what is kind of like influencing to the development of the fintech ecosystem is Astana International Financial Center. So it's one of our core pillars, and this AFC is a institution which is a kind of like a jurisdiction which is created in 2015. So we have 5 core pillars in general. So we should develop the legal and market ecosystem, which is unique to the vast region, which spans over the like Eurasian Economic Union, Eastern Europe, Central Asia, Caucasus, Mongolia, and Western China. Today, we have more than like 580 companies who is developing their financial ecosystem in general. So they do develop the several divisions, several directions of the financial market. So, and we, as an AFC, so we are developing our capital markets division. So we've created the Astana International Exchange, and so we have successfully conducted several IPOs. So the first one was the Tamerlan. It's a very big uranium company, and the second one is a natural resources company of the Russia, Polymetal, and some others. So lately, the fintech company CIS, so they were starting their activities as a bank, and now they position themselves as a fintech company, fintech platform. So they successfully launched their IPO, and this one of the biggest IPOs in the region. Some other fields are like Islamic fintech, Islamic finance, and then the green finance, private banking, and the asset management are also developing right now in Kazakhstan. So we as a fintech kind of building a friendly ecosystem, which is very unique one, and it's very understandable for the other countries, for the other investors, for the other like business players, that we are using in our platform the principles of the English common law. And so we've conducted friendly tax regime, operational incentives. So this one helps reduce the expenses and make the cost of doing business by the help of the AFC to make the country's economic situation very attractive to our clients. And we are helping them to increase their competitiveness. So we also have, so we've established the institutions that meets all our international standards and investor expectations. Particularly, it's Astana Financial Services Authority, which is the regulatory body of our financial center. So this regulatory body has focused on supporting AFC to become a financial services and a capital market hub in whole Eurasia. So our legislative efforts have led to the formation of a regulatory framework that covers almost all pillars of finance, enables the proper establishment of business, and allows a wide range of financial services to be offered in the AFC. So here we have the Fintech Lab, which is a unique platform which allows to conduct the services in a very innovative way. So they can come to AFC and test or develop their very unique, very new business models, business approaches. So this is a sandbox regime which allows company without fully regulated, in a fully regulated ecosystem to deliver their real services to the real clients. So this sandbox is one of the very active sandbox of the region. So in our countries, in the CIS countries, so Russia, Central Bank of Russia, so they have their own sandbox regime, and they do conduct it together with the key players of the Russia, like Yandex or Kiwi or some other tech and fintech giants. So in Kazakhstan, we do have two sandboxes. One is of the AFC, and the second one is our national banks. Like lately, Kyrgyzstan have launched it in August specifically. So they launched their own sandbox, and they are not so active in the moment. But we hope that they will also deliver some cases which will allow to our neighbor countries to do some innovative things in the financial market. So here we have 28 companies which just conduct several like directions in a financial market. So starting from the payment system and ending by the like crypto exchange and the crowdfunding platforms. Now we have very unique platform in Kazakhstan, which allows to collect money from the public and to deliver it to the real sector of economy. And so this helped us to make a case that this crowdfunding platform can collected more than 1 million USD from the population, and they provided it to the business. So this is about the Fintech Labs activities. So, and what is also unique that in 2018 we've amended the rules and regulations on the crypto. So we do accept the crypto things, and we've developed our regulation in that way that here in the AFC, they can conduct, the companies can conduct the crypto exchange activities. So we do have about like 4 companies who've started their operation here in Kazakhstan. But we do have some circumstances, but it's for the future one, because this topic is a very tricky one right now, and we do have to understand their core business that will help us to feel our investor side and to client sides very safe in their part. So this framework on private e-currencies are, let's say, it's the first regulation in the post-Soviet Union countries that allows companies to do these activities in our jurisdiction. So we do have also a Fintech Hub, which is more business part, and so we do support the startups in Fintech. And here we have 3 core dimensions in which field we are working on. The first one is startup support program. So we do have in our portfolio more than 130 startups from all over the region, from Central Asia countries. And we do conduct several support programs like incubators and accelerators together with our international partners. So the latest one is we are working together with the Startup Bootcamp from Arab Emirates and Startup Wise Guys from Lithuania. And our several startups from the whole region are participating in that activities. And so they are going to the new markets, they're presenting themselves, and they're getting the support, some unique proposals from our partners, especially. So very good case was the last year. So we've conducted our event together with the Visa, so Visa Everywhere initiative. So this helped to the startup from Uzbekistan to pass several like steps of our startup support programs, and they've won in fintech. So they've won from from the event which is held in Arabic Emirates, and they've won the first place in fintech Dubai. So the second direction is what we do is corporate innovation, so where we want to converge the startups and corporates to do work together. So for the corporates, it's a very unique proposal that they can use the startups idea, solutions, technologies, and that they can so they can find some new points for the growth. And for the startups, it's so they can work and they can propose their products to the wider market and go to the abroad and foreign markets. And the latest one is VC support activities. So we've conducted in the jurisdiction of the EFC. So as I told already, that we are working on under the principles of English common law. And so we have conducted, we've supported 10 startups to structure their deals and their startups under the regulation of the English common law principles. So this is for the first one in the CIS region that, let's say, investors and startups structured their deals and their collaboration in a very right way, because regulatory framework of the Kazakhstan or Russia or some other countries or the CIS countries does not allow to conduct these type of like structures in a very right manner, because all these kind of like activities are going to the Singapore, Hong Kong, or to the like Delaware state, USA. So here it's our activities in that way. So from among the 120 startups, we have almost like 20 startups are doing the activities on the payment system, and we have several startups who are doing, who are building their own ecosystem on payments, and so they built very wide network in Kazakhstan, and they do provide several types of services. For example, you can fuel your car with the gas line without like going out from your car, so always in your mobile phone. So payments through the QR codes, like tap to phone things, are already like proposed by our startups here, and we have several initiatives that we want to conduct together with the Visa and MasterCard and some other like payment systems. So we are helping to integrate our financial markets with the global financial markets, financial ecosystem. So here for that one, we are conducting several events for the markets. And like, so everybody knows about the COVID-19 pandemic affected to every sector of the economy, and we all understand that we should go to the digital, and together with our governments, we are developing the framework on the basis of the state program Digital Kazakhstan that will affect all the companies to move to online. So we are trying to develop the e-commerce field, and so we are trying to develop the like Uberization of the services in Kazakhstan, and so based on that, all our startups and like fintech companies, banks in the Kazakhstan are moving to online. So from this year, this pandemic actually affected to the banks and to the like government service organizations to get all the services online and remotely. So digital ID concept is already implemented in Kazakhstan, and based on that technology, so you can get very wide services from the financial companies. So you can open a banking account, so you can get the credit cards, debit cards from the banks totally online, and you can get all the governmental services also online. So these type of triggers, like a pandemic, so it's affected to our financial sector and governmental services sector to accelerate these all procedures. And now we have, together with our national bank, the concept of the development of the financial technologies and innovation until 2025. So you can learn these documents from the official website of our national bank. And so this says that by 2024, so we are going to have our central bank digital currency things. And so we are going to turn to the blockchain technologies and to use the blockchain technology in our payment ecosystem in Kazakhstan. So we will turn, so let's say we can reboot our financial ecosystem, which will be very optimized and well organized, and could be monitored by the regulators of the Kazakhstan, to find some issues very in time, and to react to these let's say challenges very properly, and then also to solve them very quickly. So here we are now also building let's say the infrastructural things together with the international partners. So for example, in January, we are going to launch our first ever startup exchange in Central Asia, which will allow to investors to invest in the startups and technological companies of the region. And startups will get the possibility to attract the investors, like business angels, from this platform. And so this unique platform will be launched together with international partner, which has very wide network. And so we will be part of the big ecosystem, which includes 80 ecosystems in the world. So this kind of creating a digital ecosystem of the region of the Eurasia, let's say. So we are part of the Shanghai collaboration organizations. So we are the part of One Belt One Road initiative, and we are the part of Eurasian Economic Union. So all these countries, the member countries, can use the AFC as a platform to make joint collaboration, and so also Caucasian countries, Middle East countries, some other countries can join to our initiatives and to conduct the development of the whole fintech ecosystem of the region and their countries, so they can find the market to expand their services, and they can find some solutions, some startups from this region, so we can help to exchange the knowledge. So we are working now as a center of competence on fintech, and in the region, all the startups are coming to us to get our support actually. So here we invite all the countries to work jointly, collaboratively, to expand our strategy, our ideas, to learn about our markets. So if you want to learn about the CIS countries' situation on fintech, so we can deliver you the link to our report. So fintech market entry to CIS, Central Asia and Mongolia report. So this report provides updates on the state and trends of the regional fintech market. So each chapter includes information on the state of the fintech industry, the latest trends, so regional market specifics, regulatory environments, like talent development, demand for financial technology, access to capital, government support, and success stories. So if you have any other questions, please do connect me through the contacts. Thank you very much.